How many of you only have cell phones instead of landlines in your house? According to a CDC survey from the second half of 2017, 53.9% of American households only have wireless phones. That's up 3.1% from the year prior, and all indications point to this figure only increasing with time. It increases to 70% if you're only looking at people 25 to 34 and adults renting their homes. In an article from Forbes, it was stated that there's a global total of 3.6 billion active smartphones as of June 2018. Most people have a general idea of how gigantic Apple and Samsung are, but how big are they exactly? Samsung holds the biggest piece of the pie with its market share of 27%, coming in at 893 million active devices. Apple is right behind them at 24% of market share, meaning that over half of the global market share is held just between these two companies. Everyone knows them, but what about other phone companies? Most people are familiar with Asus and Razer products in the laptop space, yet their smartphone divisions aren't quite household names. While there is a well-known war between giants on the global stage, there is also a novel battle in the niche corner between Asus and Razer. Today we're going to discuss the similarities and differences between the two, and which one you should keep an eye on this holiday season. Like the majority of current flagships, they share various specifications, a few that are unique to the pair, including a Snapdragon 845 processor with an Adreno 630 GPU, 8GB of RAM, a 4000 mAh battery, and Quick Charge 4.0, dual front-firing speakers, Bluetooth 5.0, virtually the same weight and dimensions, and the all-important RGB logos on the back. The ROG phone makes for a very compelling package with its excellent display and sound. For years, I've thought, why does it seem like no one can make an OLED monitor over the standard refresh rate of 60 Hz? The ROG phone has front-facing speakers that are louder than most contemporary phones, such as iPhones and Galaxies, that forego the front-facing speakers in the name of maximum screen-to-body ratio, instead opting for a single, awkwardly placed speaker that you have to cup with your hands to direct the sound towards you. I also have a terrible sense of direction, so that large display is perfect for navigation purposes. The 6-inch AMOLED display's deep blacks paired with the dual front-facing speakers is a lot of why I want this phone. I find that I mainly use my phone for media consumption like YouTube, Netflix, Instagram, and Spotify. The Razer phone has an even smoother refresh rate of 120 Hz on an LCD panel. If you're looking for a faster, more responsive gaming experience, having the higher refresh rate will give you a slight leg up. But if you're more concerned about how good Netflix looks on your phone, then I'm pretty sure the ROG phone wins here with its superior contrast and slightly bigger display. The Razer phone 2 does have a brighter display than the ROG phone, which is important to keep in mind, especially if you're planning for a lot of outdoor use. The ROG phone's marketing largely hinges on the novelty of its pricey accessories. It comes with an aero-active cooler, which seemingly just cools the exterior a little bit to keep from warming your hands too much during intense usage, although it does serve as a solution to the uncomfortable position caused by charging your phone while holding it horizontally. There are also 4 optional docks, 2 of which are intended to be plugged into a monitor so that you can use your phone as a desktop. Frankly, I don't know why companies keep doing this. The experience is always mediocre at best and makes no financial sense, but I guess good on them for being weird and trying something other than the standard glass and metal sandwich. You can get the WiGig dock if you're willing to pay $330 to mirror your phone's screen onto your TV. The only dock that's interesting to me is the $400 TwinView dock. This accessory is effectively stapling another phone onto the bottom of your phone. The secondary display is identical to the base phone screen, complete with dual speakers and haptic vibrators. The dock includes a USB-C port, audio jack, 2 shoulder buttons, and for some reason an SD card slot. The TwinView dock is also effectively a battery bank with its 6,000 mAh battery. The only first-party accessory that the Razer phone has is a $100 wireless charging dock with RGB underglow. Neither have much third-party accessory support. They both have 8GB of RAM, but there is a key storage discrepancy. A major feature for a lot of people is expandable storage, which only the Razer phone supports, up to an entire terabyte at that. Along with its 64GB of internal storage, you could get the same amount of storage through an SD card for cheaper or even more if you really need over half a terabyte on your phone. On the other hand, the ROG phone has ample compensation for its lack of SD card slot with a base storage of 128GB or a practically inexhaustible 512GB option and dual SIM card support. At the end, they can both come out to be about the same amount of storage, ultimately relying on the customer's personal preference. Like most other flagship phones, the Razer Phone 2 does not have a built-in headphone jack. Instead, it comes with a USB-C to 3.5mm audio port adapter. The ROG phone is still clinging to an internal audio jack. This is great for those of us that already have wired headphones and aren't quite willing to give them up. If you're interested in getting either of these phones, the Razer phone costs $800 and the ROG phone costs $900. The Razer phone is available at some stores that sell phones like Walmart and Best Buy. As for the ROG phone, it's not in your standard brick and mortar store, but you can order it from Amazon and the official ASUS site. So now that we've compared and contrasted these two gaming phones, which one is better for you? As stated above, the Razer phone is better if you want the smoothest possible gaming experience. The ROG phone is better for media consumption in general with its AMOLED screen and superior speakers. Out of these two phones, I prefer the ROG phone because this device can handle whatever you can throw at it better than most kinds of phones. The higher end components required to smoothly run a video game will provide the power needed to do almost anything well. Unfortunately, the ROG phone doesn't have almost any third-party accessories from what I've been able to find, especially when compared to iPhones with their endless oceans of accessories, including their infamous headphone dongle. I know that I'll be clutching my cords for a long time to come, but maybe you've moved on to the bluer pastures of wireless headphones. After all my research, I'm hard-pressed to find myself a more promising experience. As discussed at the beginning, Apple and Samsung have about 51% of the market share together, making it hard to see the other options out there. I've talked about two companies and their products, but what about other devices are out there? Currently, there are 128 total cell phone manufacturers from Google to Acer to CAT. Yes, CAT, the construction company, makes cell phones. So keep that in mind if you're ever unhappy with your current cell phone. There's a whole world for you to discover. I'm Cesar, and this was Tech Corner. See you next time.